This is the second part of a four-part series I'm doing on the book of Ecclesiastes, which is part of Hebrew wisdom literature. This book and the words and the concepts and the perspectives have impacted my life for decades, and so I want to do a little review and perspective of those with you as well over the weeks of watching this. So stay tuned and get ready for some insights into what I think is important from this book. From Ecclesiastes, the second chapter. The wise person has his eyes in his head, but the fool walks in darkness. And yet I perceived that the same event happens to all of them. Then I said in my heart, what happens to the fool will happen to me also. Why then have I been so very wise? And I said in my heart that this also is vanity. For of the wise as of the fool there is no enduring remembrance, seeing that in the days to come all will have been long forgotten. How the wise dies just like the fool. Sometimes a person who has toiled with wisdom and knowledge and skill must leave everything to be enjoyed by someone who did not toil for it. This also is vanity. What has a man from all the toil and striving of heart with which he toils beneath the sun? There is nothing better for a person, that they should eat and drink and find enjoyment in toil. This, I saw, is from the hand of God. For apart from God, who can eat or who can have enjoyment? Here we have a number of pictures starting over in this corner. 1873, pictures of pastors who had served this congregation. I want to share with you something I got from 5 Keys to Leaving a Lasting Legacy. And it says, leaving behind a legacy means making an impact that will last long after you die. It could be financial, with something you create, or through the people you touch while you're alive. The good news is, it's never too late to start working on building a legacy that will outlive you. According to Ecclesiastes, whatever we leave is in the hands of somebody else. I don't know, I look at a number of these pastors, I don't know any of them. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know a couple of them, but none in the top row. Did they make an impact? I'm sure in their day they did. They made a difference in the lives of people when they were here serving. And yet sometimes churches have big books full of baptisms and weddings and funerals, and we keep statistics about who did what with whom. Is it about looking back at past records, or is it being present in today's situation? Is it about the relationship and the care that is given today rather than saying, how will I be remembered? I think that's part of what Ecclesiastes is saying, not so much as doom and gloom, but the reality is all we have is today. How do we live in God's grace today? Living, not leaving a legacy, because really, if it's ashes to ashes and dust to dust, we're all going to be in the same bit of organic matter in due time. In a recent episode of Shark Tank, the entrepreneur was really stoked when somebody decided to invest in his product. And as he was coming off the main floor after his presentation, he said, "Now I can do something to save the planet." What had he developed? Edible, disposable utensils. Look behind me at the drive-up window. We seem to always be on the go, wanting to get to the next place, wanting it in a hurry, wanting to get back to work or make more money or get our kids to their designated places that they need to go. So is edible, disposable utensils the only way to live? Is it the only way to make a difference, to save the planet? Or could we make other choices today? I'm grateful that organizations, businesses, individuals wish to be philanthropic and provide monies to build buildings and place their names on them. But as Ecclesiastes says, it's up to those who come later to decide what gets done. It's a building, it's a structure, but I sense that what is more important to daily life is what gets done inside this complex, not what happens in years and years to come. A little known fact in my life was, as a high school senior, I was the recipient of a Scholar Athlete Award in my high school. Well, the high school has since consolidated with another school. The building isn't even there, so what happened to that plaque and the little nameplate that went on it? And if somebody looks at it, do they even know who Tim Bauer is? Again, according to Ecclesiastes, my perspective on what is being said is it's more important to concentrate on what can happen today, not on a name, not on something that is left for the future to decide. It is about living, not leaving. In reality, I was much better in the academic end of things than the athletic end of things, but neither one of those are what I do today. Again, I'm grateful that people wish to share and help make society better. But is it a name? Is it leaving things for someone else, or is it making that difference today? Dealing with the relationships and the people and the realities of today that can enhance life today. It seems that the thoughts and the perceptions of Ecclesiastes did not end in the Old Testament. In the New Testament book, the Christian New Testament book of James, the 2nd chapter, there's a discussion about dealing with individuals. And in the 2nd chapter it says, well, if you see someone else who's hungry or needs clothing or shelter or some sort of help, and you just say, well, God bless you, I hope it works out, you're not practicing your faith. It's important to deal with the issue that is at hand and be living in the moment, not leaving a legacy or leaving people struggle, and hopefully something in the future will help them out. And I don't think the writer of James necessarily had that as a unique idea also, because looking at the life of Jesus, what got him into trouble was living in the moment, was dealing with people's issues and illnesses and disruptions, of being with sinners and healing people when the norm was, you can't do that, you need to wait. Jesus acted, and he acted in the moment. He was living, not leaving. When you stop and think about it, was Jesus' purpose to leave a legacy? Or was it to make an impact in the life of people each and every day? So I invite you to ponder. I invite you to think about what it is and what we're asked to do in life. Are we to be about living each day and assisting others? Because if we leave it to somebody else, who knows what'll get done, if it'll ever get done. Living. To focus on living. And as always, thank you for watching.